we're going to talk about how Hamza and Luke Belmar achieved an incredible level of success. My name's Chris Calzar. I help people trapped in a 9-to-5 break out and get into remote sales so they can live whatever they want. How did Hamza and Luke Belmar achieve such a great level of success? If you're anything like me, this is the question that I've been asking, as these guys have achieved some things that only some of us could dream of. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what shifted in their mindset in order to get them where they are today. My name's Chris Calzar. I help people working a 9-to-5 break free and work in remote sales so they can live wherever they want and achieve financial freedom. Now, I'm a very small channel, so please like, comment, and subscribe if you find value from this video. Now, let's get right into it. We have to remember that Hamza and Luke Belmar, although they have a huge amount of financial success, they are no different from you and I. They are men. They are people. And all they have done is shifted their mindset in order to achieve what they have achieved. The first thing they did on their journey was they acquired specific knowledge. Luke Belmar acquired the specific knowledge of running an e-commerce brand, finding products that people wanted to buy, doing drop shipping, and making millions from it. He acquired so much specific knowledge that he was able to outcompete all of his competition. Now, Hamza focused on the skill of building an audience. His videos are incredibly captivating and they draw you in. His storytelling ability is second to none. And his lack of special effects, his lack of editing to get him to reach, 2 million subscribers is incredible. But what they share is they acquired specific knowledge. Now, the definition of specific knowledge is knowledge that isn't taught in university. A teacher in school isn't going to teach you this. This is something that you learn by doing. Now, the best way to be good at starting a business isn't to go to university and study economics, isn't to study business, isn't to listen to a professor who has never started a business tell you how to start one, because they are not successful in the business world. The best way to be successful starting a business is to actually start one, because you acquire the specific knowledge along the way of what is required of you to either succeed or to fail. And the failures are arguably more important than the successes. And it's something both Hamza and Luke Belmar have definitely had. They have had a lot of failures throughout their life. We may not know them right now on the specific ones, but they have failed a lot. But what they have done that's different to you is they have learnt from those failures, is they've embraced those failures. All successful entrepreneurs are never successful on the first try. It always takes a few tries because it is trial and error. But you only lose at this game when you stop trying. They started before they were ready. If you're sat watching this on your computer, on your phone, and you have something that you're wanting to start, but you're saying, oh, I'm going to wait till I'm ready. I'm going to wait till I'm ready to do this. If you have the thought to start something, you're ready. You don't need to wait for somebody to tell you you're ready in order to start something. Now, you will know so many people in your life that talk about taking action. And think, maybe colleagues, maybe friends in school, they talk about what they're going to do. They talk. And when you realize, as you get older in life, you get the same amount of dopamine from talking about your goals than actually doing them. Because the very act of talking about your goals releases the same amount of dopamine as when you achieve those goals. So you know those people who they talk about their goals all the time and they never seem to do anything. It's because subconsciously Their brain thinks they've done it. Their brain thinks they've achieved it. Their brain has got that dopamine hit. And now they're looking for the next one. So they're going to talk some more. Real winners move in silence. Don't tell people your goals. You should write them down. And I'm sure Hamza and Luke Belmar wrote down their goals. But they didn't share them. And that's what you need to do. Now, after they acquired their specific knowledge, they built leverage. Now, there are 4 forms of leverage that you need to understand. That's labor, capital, code, and media. Now, they're all fairly self-explanatory, but labor, really simple, other people working for you. If you have 10 employees, 10 sales guys who are working on closing deals for you, you have the leverage of labor. You can make money without doing any work because you're paying these guys to do a job. Capital, again, fairly self-explanatory. If you want to start a business or you want to buy a business, you can buy a already successful business for $1 to $2 million that will turn over a good chunk of money every year and will sustain you. So if you have the leverage of capital, where you have more money, you can invest in things. You can build your wealth passively. Code. Now this is an interesting one because I don't think Luke Belmar or Hamza actually utilize code. If you understand how to code, you can build a business from nothing. And if you can create something that so many people use all across the internet, you will make so much money and you will be incredibly successful. Just look at, there's an app called NGL. You may have seen it on Instagram where everybody was tagging it. I think the guy's name who found it was Hunter Jackson and his dad. Now they built a software platform where anybody could ask anonymous questions and it became the #1 app on the US App Store. They built something, they put their energy into something one time, and then they were able to reap the rewards of that. And the final one is leverage. And the final one is media. Now, Hamza arguably has a better leverage over media than Luke Belmar, as his storytelling ability is incredible. But he has the ability that when he launches his Adonis school that's £500 to join and then, what, $100 a month to stay in it. He has the audience. He commands an audience. He's essentially a news channel, right? If CNN or one of those big BS, big news companies put something out and they advertise something, some people will buy it because they trust them. It's the same thing with Hamza, same thing with Luke Belmar, is Hamza has an incredibly large audience. So it doesn't matter, arguably, what business he launches. It could be a mediocre business, but it would still be successful because he has the leverage of media. He has eyeballs on the screen. He can drive 100,000 clicks to his website. And if you have an average conversion rate of 2% and you charge £500 for an item or a subscription, you can do the maths. It's not hard to be successful. But the final thing they focused on, and it's the final thing that you can focus on and actually implement in your life today. There's a famous philosopher, his name is Alan Watts, and what he talks about is the concept of the eternal now. It's the past to the future. Time moves in one direction. Well, Alan Watts has a different perspective, and I think this perspective could be very interesting for you. Watts presents this notion that time is not linear, but rather there is the concept of the eternal now. What that means is that instead of everything happening on a linear fashion, where this happens, then this happens, then this happens, then this happens, everything is all happening at once. This may be a hard concept to wrap your head around, but the only thing you can control is now. The here and now, that's the only thing we have. You do not have the past, you do not have the future. And anybody who lives in the past or the future is always unsatisfied. It's the man who lives in the eternal now and has learnt to master his day that becomes successful. This is what Hamza, Luke Belmar, all of these successful chaps did. They mastered their day, and they understood that while the big picture and having a goal to move towards is important, the most important thing you can do is focus on what you can do today. Because time only exists in this present moment. As you're watching this video, this is the only moment of time. We can't go back and recreate this time. If you rewatch this video, you've already seen it. This moment has already happened. This moment when I'm filming this video, it has already happened. These guys didn't live in the future. They didn't live in the past. They focused on the present. And that's the most important thing. Because it doesn't matter about your past. It doesn't matter about your future. It matters about what actions you take today in order to get to where you want to go. There's something called the compounding effect. And if you guys invest and you put money into a mutual fund, an ETF, something like that, you'll understand the power of the compounding effect, where you could put money in it for 10 years, you're not going to make that much money, but over 20 or 30 years, your money compounds, it multiplies, almost like magic. Well, I'm here to tell you that your days compound too. If you master your day, and what I mean by that is you figure out what you need to do on a daily basis in order to achieve the levels of success that you want to achieve, all of a sudden it becomes within your reach. You're able to grasp that. You're able to take action and consistently take action to move towards that goal. If you master your day, you have mastered your life. And in order to master your day, you need to be incredibly present and focused. There are hacks and tips and tricks you can use, but at the end of the day, those are only hacks and tips and tricks and all of this rubbish. The one thing that stands the test of time is fundamentals. Luke Belmar talks about this. If you master the fundamentals, it doesn't matter how things change. It doesn't matter in 10 years when AI takes everybody's job. If you understand the fundamentals, you are irreplaceable. Because it's what separates Hamza, Luke Belmar from you, is they've mastered the fundamentals. Now this applies to sales. If you can master the fundamentals of sales, I promise you, you will never be broke. If you master the art of human psychology, of talking to another person and persuading them to buy your product or service, you will never be broke. Because you have a skill that will always be in demand. I think sales is the single most important skill anybody can learn. Not because I think it's the best initial career option to choose in order to get you to be able to start your own business. Because the reality of this world is everything is sales. Hamza and Luke Belmar understand that very well. Now, if that doesn't make sense, think about this for a second. That girl you like, you're selling her on being with you when you walk up to her and you try and chat her up, or when you send her a DM. You're selling her on you. When you ask somebody for a favor, you're selling them on you. When you apply for a job, you're selling them on you. Everything in life is sales. Everything in life is persuasion. And if you can master this skill of persuasion, it's like living life on cheat codes. Now, sales is difficult. It's not an easy path, and it's not the path Hamza or Luke Belmar chose. But ultimately, I believe it's the best path for you. Because if right now, you don't have the necessary skills to have a business, you don't have the capital to invest in a business, You cannot leverage labor. You cannot leverage media. The one thing you can do is get really good in sales. Because I promise you, in the future, if you want to start a business, if you are able to sell successfully and consistently, that's the lifeblood of your company. That cash flow is key. And when you're a leader of a business, one day I know you can do it. But when you're leading your business, you're leading your tribe, you need to sell them on the vision. You need to sell them on sticking with you, in good times and bad. You need to sell investors on the vision of your company. You need to sell customers on the vision of your company. I don't care what industry you're in. Both Hamza and Luke Belmar have sold you into their visions. That's why you know their name. That's why you know their face. This is a skill you can learn in 3 months. I'm not going to say you'll be a master, but in as little as 3 months, you can probably make about $5,000 a month from your laptop, from anywhere in the world, working 4 hours a day. That's incredible. Sales has been my backbone, and I've been doing this for 8 years. And it's enabled me to do whatever I want in life. I can walk into any room I want. I can do anything in life because I am good at sales. Now, I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, and it's added value to you, leave me a like, comment, ask me any questions, and subscribe. If you want to get to know me a bit more personally, follow my Instagram, the link is in the description. I also have a private Discord for people who are really interested in getting into sales. Now, it's completely free, the link's in the description, but we're going to be doing mock calls, all of that kind of stuff to help you break into sales and break free of this matrix. My name's Chris Calzar. Thank you for watching.